What's up and welcome to my channel, E Smells Good. I'm E. I hope you're smelling good, but more importantly, I hope you're feeling even better. In today's video, I just wanted to give you the top 5 fragrances that I wore throughout the month of January. So first up on this list is going to be Lattafa's Assad. I picked this one up in late December and began testing it early January. And initially, I will say that my first impression of this one was not negative, but it also was not love at first sniff. I was a little disappointed that it was not a dead ringer for Sauvage Elixir, but what I found was that throughout wearing it, there were actually some differences about this one that made it more wearable, and if I'm being honest, a little more enjoyable at times for me than Sauvage Elixir is. And the main difference that I'll say is that this one, the spices are slightly toned down and there's a bit added vanillic tone to this one that makes it a lot more wearable and suitable for a wide array of circumstances and occasions for me. For example, I do not think that I would be able to pull off Elixir at work, but this one is able to be worn to work. I've worn it for dates, I've worn it for casual wear. It just seems to get a lot of play in my rotation. So once again, number 5 on the list is going to be Lattafa Assad. Number 4 is going to be Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition. Now, I picked this one up again not too long ago, and it was love at first sniff. I haven't done a full review on this one, so I don't want to say everything that's in my head about this one yet, but I will say that the opening of this is beautiful. It is a beautiful, juicy, pineapple, fruity opening that also has some white florals and some woods, and it ends up coming across like a very fruity yet creamy batch of Aventus. I'm a huge fan of that Aventus DNA, so something like this is definitely welcomed in my collection and has been getting a lot of wear over the last couple weeks. I've worn it to work, I've worn it to the gym a few times, and my girlfriend has fallen in love with this one. This is one of those fragrances where jokingly she'll tell me I'm not allowed to wear it around anyone else. And whenever she says that, I know she really, really loves the scent. And this is one that falls into that category. Overall, I am loving Supremacy Collector's Edition, and I anticipate that it's probably going to get a lot of wear throughout the year, not just this winter, but the entirety of 2025. So once again, number 4 is going to be Supremacy Collector's Edition. Number 3 on the list, we're going to pull away from the clone fragrances and go into a designer house, and this is going to be Myself from the house of YSL. It's a little smudge. This one's definitely a fingerprint magnet, but this one, once again, versatility is the name of the game. I'm able to wear this one to work, I'm able to wear it to the gym, and if I'm being quite honest, the majority of my time is spent either working at the gym or at home. So with this one being as versatile as it is, it gets a lot of play. There's a beautiful orange blossom note in this one that's supported by a ton of ambroxan. It's not the most unique scent. You're not gonna smell this and it's just gonna blow you out of the water, but it is an amazing scent. I think it falls right in line with a lot of other things that the House of YSL is doing. And although some people felt it was redundant, I think it's a wonderful addition to their collection of men's fragrances. It's one that when I originally got it, I wore it for actually a few weeks straight. I think probably 2 to 3 weeks straight. And that says a lot when you have a large collection and you keep reaching for something time and time again. And this is that one for me. Now, the main reason that Myself has been getting so much wear lately is it's become almost like a go-to gym scent for me over the past couple months. And the reason for that is because it's cold outside. We are in winter, and I still want something that has a little depth to it, but I also want something that still has that clean, almost shower gel approach to it, and this one does that perfectly. Most nights I hit the gym, this one gets me through my workout, and then whatever other errands that I run in between the gym and getting home, this one has me covered. So once again, number 3 on my list of most worn fragrances for the month of January, Myself by YSL. And we're going to take it back to the clones again. This was a month full of clones, and it's going to be Vintage Radio by the House of Lattafa. I do love this bottle. And for anyone who did see my unboxing, I was able to fix this collar here that kept popping off. So I have a much better experience now when it comes to taking this cap off. But Vintage Radio, this one has been a go-to for the month of January. One, because I can easily wear it to work. Two, it plays very, very well in casual settings, but also in date night settings, more upscale settings. I wore this one to a business dinner that I had with my company. I was also able to wear this to go out just for date nights and casual nights, go to the mall, whatever it is. So this one has been getting a lot of wear in my collection. The main things that I'm getting out of Vintage Radio is going to be plum and Palo Santo. The plum comes across very juicy in that opening. It is a beautiful plum note, and the woods that support it almost comes across a bit creamy. It's not as smoky of a Palo Santo as I would have expected it to be. This is another one of those fragrances where it was love at first sniff when I did pick it up, and nothing has changed since then. Every time I spray it on, I'm reminded of how much I do love this scent. Once it begins to heat up, I do see myself pulling away from this one a little bit, but as long as we're still in these moderate temperatures like we've been having, I think that this one will carry me from winter on into probably mid-spring. So this one might even be in a few more of these most worn videos. But overall, a beautiful scent, a wonderful release from the House of Lattafa, and one that I have been reaching for heavily in the month of January. Number 2 on the list, Vintage Radio by Lattafa. Last but not least, another Lattafa. This one is going to be Bourbon. Assad Bourbon. This was a recent release that got a lot of hype in the community. People were scrambling to get it, scrambling to figure out what it was a clone of, if it was a clone of anything, and I don't think it's a clone of anything. I think it's its own original release, and it is one that I have loved. Once again, that note of plum is making an appearance on this list. This one has the note of Mirabelle plum. It too comes across very fruity, very juicy in the opening, but it dries down to a bit of a powdery, sweet, vanilla/cacao scent. As far as cold weather scents go, this is another one that I have found to be extremely versatile. I don't hesitate to reach for this one for work, but I also don't hesitate to reach for it if I'm just going to the store or if I'm going out to dinner. This one just seems to work for so many different things, and it has proven itself to be a reliable fragrance over the past month for me to reach for in just about any occasion, any outfit. It doesn't matter, this one's going to do me justice. If I'm being completely honest, I did not anticipate to like this one as much as I did. When I picked it up, I thought this was just gonna be another hype fragrance. It was gonna have its time in my rotation and then it would kind of fall off. But I see this one being a fragrance that I'm probably going to reach for heavily going forward. Similar to Vintage Radio, I think as the weather begins to continue to inch up, for me, even though it's only February, we're already seeing temperatures in the high 60s, potentially even getting up to the low 70s. So as those temperatures continue to creep up, I do think that this is one that I will pull back from just a little bit. But as long as we still have a little chill in the air, this is one that I'm going to continue to reach for heavily. Something that I find pretty interesting about this one is that of the 5 fragrances on this list, this is actually the least complimented. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a crowd pleaser and I have gotten quite a few compliments with it, but the others on this list honestly have been compliment monsters. Specifically, Myself by YSL and Off Non-Supremacy's Collector's Edition, those have almost been compliment automatics. Those have almost been like putting compliments on easy mode. It's almost a guarantee that when I wear those, I'm going to get complimented at some point throughout that day. This one, however, has only gotten me a few compliments here and there, and I say that because I think it speaks a lot about how I feel about this fragrance personally. Despite it not being the most complimented on this list, it's actually the one that I've reached for the most by a long shot. There's just something addictive about it that just keeps me coming back time and time again. If I weren't on my way to the gym right now, I would probably spray this on and make it my scent of the evening. So I really look forward to seeing if anything's able to dethrone this as far as what I reach for the most in the month of February. But as of right now, it's looking like this one might even dominate February. Again, number 1 on my list of most worn fragrances for the month of January is going to be Assad Bourbon from the House of Lattafa. That's going to be it for my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment down below and let me know what were your most worn fragrances for the month of January. Give me maybe just your top 3. And I'm also curious, if you own anything that I mentioned in this video, let me know what your experience with that fragrance has been like. But until next time, y'all, peace.